The old building stood tall, its brick facade whispering tales of bygone eras. Mia, armed with boxes and a hopeful heart, stepped into her new apartment. Light filtered in weakly, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. The air hung heavy, thick with the silence of ages. Her gaze fell upon it, an ornate, antique mirror propped against the far wall. Its silver was tarnished, the glass cloudy, yet it drew her in. An inexplicable chill ran down her spine as she touched its cold surface. Days melted into weeks. Mia settled into her new life. But something felt off. A presence lingered, unseen, unheard yet palpable. It always seemed to emanate from the mirror. Its presence grew stronger when she was alone. She began noticing fleeting movements in the reflection. A flicker, a shadow, gone before she could truly register them. Whispers, soft as breaths, seemed to emanate from its depths, brushing against her ears, sending shivers down her spine. One evening, as Mia stood before the mirror, her reflection contorted. Her own eyes staring back turned a chilling black, devoid of warmth. The image vanished as quickly as it appeared, leaving behind a sense of dread that clawed at her throat. She couldn't shake off the feeling that the mirror was no longer just reflecting, but watching, observing her every move. Sleep offered no escape, haunted by nightmares of being trapped within the mirror's cold, dark depths. The whispers grew louder, more distinct. They spoke of sorrow, of despair, of a hunger that chilled Mia to the bone. Her reflection no longer mirrored her own. At times it showed a gaunt, spectral figure standing behind her, its eyes burning with an eerie light. Fear morphed into a morbid fascination. She found herself drawn to the mirror, unable to resist its pull. One night, the mirror's surface rippled, images flickered across it, distorted and grotesque, like a macabre slideshow. She saw flashes of people trapped within the mirror's depths, their faces contorted in silent screams. And then she saw her reflection, trapped, her hand reaching out, eyes wide with terror. The vision ended abruptly, leaving behind the lingering stench of decay and the echo of a blood-curdling scream that reverberated in the room long after it had faded. Panic seized Mia. This was no ordinary mirror, it was a portal to something sinister, something hungry. The realization hit her like a physical blow, stealing her breath and leaving her trembling in its wake. She had to get out, escape the apartment, escape the mirror's insidious pull. Driven by mounting terror, Mia dove into researching the apartment's history. The building's old superintendent, a man weathered by time and secrets, provided a reluctant clue. He spoke of a young woman who lived in Mia's apartment, vanished without a trace a year ago. Her disappearance remained unsolved, just a whisper in the building's long history. He mentioned an odd detail. The missing woman had been obsessed with an antique mirror, the very one in Mia's possession. Armed with this unsettling revelation, Mia delved deeper, spending sleepless nights scouring online archives and historical records. A terrifying pattern began to emerge, a string of disappearances, stretching back decades, each linked to her apartment and the antique mirror. Each case was eerily similar. The victims, all young women, had lived in Mia's apartment. They had all been captivated by the mirror, and then they were gone, swallowed whole by the city, leaving behind no trace, no explanation. A chill ran down Mia's spine as she realized she was living a nightmare that had played out countless times before. Each missing woman had left behind a single clue diary entries detailing their experiences with the mirror. The entries were filled with the same chilling details, whispers, visions, and a growing sense of dread. The more Mia read, the more she felt a connection to these women, their terror resonating within her own heart. She discovered the mirror's origins traced back to a 19th century occultist who used it for dark rituals. He believed it was a conduit to another dimension, a prison for lost souls. Legend had it that he vanished into the mirror himself, dragged into its depths by the very forces he tried to control. The realization struck Mia with the force of a physical blow. The mirror wasn't just haunted, it was a predator, luring in unsuspecting victims, trapping their souls within its reflective surface and feeding on their life force. The very thought sent a shiver down her spine. She was trapped in a nightmare and she feared it was already too late to escape.